Yo, what's up, team? Congratulations on their win today. Just want to try something new, do some VOD review without requiring everyone to gather together at once. So I'm going to be mainly going over individual plays and just swapping between perspectives, but also still talking about team-based stuff and especially fundamentals of Overwatch, like why we pick a comp on a certain map, what one comp, what's to do against another comp, right? So I really just want to help you guys build up your understanding of the game, understanding of the heroes you're playing, and what your goals are. Because without knowing what your goals are, you're not going to win. So let's get right into it.
Welcome to Oasis.
So first map, Oasis, we're on our brawl into their 6-man, right? So this should be a favored matchup. I want you to just pause and think real quick about how you want to be approaching this matchup to begin with. So now, what you should know is that 6-man is running these really short-range heroes, right? They're running Sombra, Reaper, Monkey. We have Cole Cassidy, and Dante's about to switch to Tracer. We also have a Baptiste compared to their Moira, who has limited healing. This means you can play a longer game, and you can hold out for longer. Also, they need to speed onto you, right? Because, again, they're useless at longer ranges. You don't need to speed on them. Obviously, you want to speed the point, but once you're there, you probably won't have to use the amp resources in order to engage on them. You can create an advantage just naturally without doing anything because they're forced to speed onto you. And then you have an amp advantage, right? Now you can use your amp for healing. Also, in a close-range brawl, by the name of the comp, your Rhine is going to be better than their Monkey. So, in a situation where you've forced a close-range brawl, the brawl comp is already favored. The only way the Monkey comp can really turn that advantage around is either with hack from Sombra or with a dive onto some target that for some reason you guys aren't playing together on the brawl close enough, and then they find a dive onto a immobile target. Okay, so I want you guys to consider that as you're going into this.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture
My
the
teleporter
objective.
is on.
One thing I wanted to mention immediately
Hey,
is the path Dante takes. So you saw that, right? First of all, we're kind of a little too far away from our team. Like, if our team's intention is to take high ground, going all the way around like this is not very conducive to doing a proper flank. And second, we're putting this gigantic pillar within our line of sight. So Dante, who should be the scouter, has not been able to scout anything yet. Still not able, still not able, still not able. Now let's look at the front of our team, right? We still don't know what their comp is. That's not really that good, actually. Because we won't even know what game plan we have yet. So if we take a little bit of a different positioning, especially with our scouter, right, then we'll have a little bit of an easier time knowing what we're playing against. That's massive. Now we know they're 6 men. Now we see the Monkey Hero. It's all down game.
got you good as new.
Okay, so they're not taking the bait, is what we should be noticing here. They're not coming up to us. They're not amping into us. What does that tell us? Now what is our win condition? So think back to what I said earlier. In a brawl situation, the brawl comp has a natural advantage. So let's put this on play again. They've decided to just take positioning on the point itself, right? They're just sitting here. They're not going to be jumping up, or they might jump up for a second, but they're just trying to sit here on the point. This means your brawl comp should just be able to drop on them and just fist fight them. You have a Reinhardt, they have a Monkey, and that's how you should be able to win. Especially like right after they've finished using their jump cooldowns. That also means they can't run away, right? So that's your go call. Once they've finished using their mobility cooldowns, you can just jump onto them and start fighting. Let's see what we do. Okay, we're holding this position for a little long.
Is now active.
We're not getting anything done. I would honestly just start go engage at this point. Okay, we finally dropped. This is all right. However, I would like to see Parker with your tanks, or at least like, you know, maybe wall riding this area, putting your tanks in your heal aura, because what's happening is that I don't know, you're kind of not giving your aura to anyone right now. So let's make sure to play with the tanks, pick closer to our tanks. I'm gonna go into a little bit more over that. Okay, I don't like how Ari drops. There, you don't really have a reason to drop, right? You're just putting yourself in a more dangerous situation. And Immo's forced out onto Jake. Okay.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
We're dropping again, right? Like, I don't know why we're dropping.
Defense matrix activated.
All of us are... The people who should be on the high ground, like Ari and Stuart, have dropped down when there's really not a big reason to. Like, if you're here at this angle, you can still see everyone you really need to be shooting. In this case, the Moira. The Moira should be called. She's half. Obviously, someone's already shooting at her, so I want to see the Moira die very soon. I want to analyze why Jake died so fast. Because again, we should have the better damage, the better sustain with Immortality Field, the better brawl on point. We'll take this at a slower speed so we can just analyze what happened. Okay, so we're spending a lot of time swinging at nothing. That's 2 swings that we spent swinging at nothing. So we're neither getting damage off, nor actually, you know, nor like shielding. So we're just taking damage for free at this point. I do want to see how you're even getting so low, because with Ari pocketing you, that shouldn't be happening. That's probably nauseating, so
The objective is now active.
okay, the drop is called. So what's happening? Nick, you're not putting your defense matrix on him. Your Rhino is swinging, where's your defense matrix? Where's your defense matrix? And then you're cut. Okay, I see what happens. So first of all, when your Rhino engages and drops, that's when he's most vulnerable. I want to see more defense matrix while he's swinging. And I don't know, just you need to also, there's somewhere hacked in front of you, right? Because you were here and the somewhere hacked you from that direction. So we just want to be a little more observant and shoot her. And that's how the fight is awesome. So we can just skip to the next fight at this point.
Defense matrix activated. No.
Get into position. Check this out.
Okay, Dante switches to Mei. That's alright. I also do like the Reaper, again, against specifically the Marquee comp. Just, the wall is very valuable though, so it's a Mei's a fine pick. But the Reaper can also be good consideration because of how much sustain he adds into the mirror. And the fact that your opponents need to get in your face anyway, so Reaper's usual weakness of short range is mitigated. That's a huge pick. I want to see you guys speeding in right now. Okay, use that. That's fine. Try to wall the Moira off. You see? That's fine.
Time to heal up.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Step right up.
Dude, Jake engages. Why isn't anyone dropping with him? Why isn't anyone dropping with him? Why are we sending Jake down alone? Okay, Jake and Dante. Sure. But, like, I guess that's fine. Because Nick has Matrix on him, or should have Matrix on him right now. Do you? No, you don't. Your Rhino is swinging, right? Your Rhino has dropped and started swinging. He is at his most vulnerable. This is when we need to be using Matrix on him. Okay, we just went off a message. That's fine. fight. I want to see you guys take a high ground position again. Yes. Okay, good.
Routing tower to forward barrier.
Where's Stuart going?
Hello.
Just chasing. Honestly, I think instead of sitting back here, you may be more productive to stand up
Get through this.
here now that you've seen the diva. Are they coming this way? It depends on which way they're coming. Okay, so now she's out, so this is fine. I'm just saying, if they come through the choke, right, you just want to be as close to them as possible at the beginning of the fight. But if they're coming this left side, then this is the better position to be taking. Also, this is where we weren't tracking ults at all. So they have EMP. Well, it's been 60% above control point, so it's no surprise that they have all of their ults. But we didn't track anything here, and so we're just going to lose. We're not going to hide for the beat or even hide for an ammo against the EMP. It's basically just a lost fight because they have 6 ults, and we didn't communicate how to avoid them or play around them.
Enemies here.
Let them up.
Your beat.
Not right.
Activated.
Team kill.
Where did it go? We did start communicating what ults they had here at this point, which is better.
Time to
Taking the high ground again. Okay. That's another thing, right, Jake? Like you come out swinging, but it's before they're even in range. So that's just wasting your health pool. I want you to start swinging when they're in range, for you to actually hit.
and I'll shoot you down. Come on.
So we just see their diva use jet to go down and come right back up. Now she doesn't even have mobility, right? Oh, but the Reaper's... Okay, the Reaper's coming into back on, so you turn her into the Reaper. That's fine.
Get in here.
I think Blossom is being called out right now, so I want Nick to watch it. Great flash. So you should die now.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Okay, we use beat. That's okay. Now I want to be hard engaging on them, but we're split. Why is Parker down there? This is... How did you get down here?
Let's get you healed up.
You just walked down? I don't want to see that. Yeah, you just kind of just walk down on your own and getting hacked now. Don't do that.
Get through this.
Vamos.
Big slam. Want a target call? There is not enough target calling there. That is absolutely a guarantee. She has 320 health at the moment she gets slammed. I do remember supports are being called as a target. And this is a habit we have. We call supports, quote unquote, or we call tanks, quote unquote, or DPS. Like, you can't call both people in a row, or else the target focus is going to be split between both people. This is just a result of not target calling, and now she's alive. Parker's also, yeah, like, because you dropped earlier and we're dead.
This will heal you.
这样可以打败他们。兄弟
Step right up.
，ATM 任务要完成。
Let them up. Draw.
Double.
Yeah, we lost our Rhyming and Lucio, right? We lost the core of the Brawl comp. At this point, we can't win. But I really want to stress that was an extremely winnable fight. We just do some really weird stuff and lack on communication, like target calling, and we end up losing it.
Nerf this.
I'm saying that Stuart got this kills, no?
Game on. Get through this.
Overtime.
Nerf
This
this.
just staggers from here on out.
Good. We'll move into position.
Yeah, okay.
Time to raise my ETM.
站住，不许走！Apagando las luces.
Yeah.
Score 0-1.
So just key points about that point. Make sure, you know what your matchup is, right? This is going to come up a lot. What is your matchup? What is our comp trying to do against their comp? And you even want to think about what their comp is trying to do to our comp so that you know what to play around. Okay. So this is a reswitch to 6-man. I want you to ask yourselves, why? Why did we do this? Take a second. Now, I'd like you to compare about what you thought about why to what I'm about to say now. 6-man is complete dog shit on this point, okay? You just finished playing the best 6-man point on Oasis. Now, we have just landed on the best brawl point on Oasis, which is specifically also this corridor, basically. This map has almost insignificant high ground control, so the advantage of 6-man's mobility is negated. And again, brawl is just super strong here. And remember what I said earlier. In a close quarters situation, brawl just has the natural advantage. There is no reason to be going 6-man over brawl based on the information you have already. Because your opponents are either going to go 6-man, in which case you want to go brawl, because it's stronger, or your opponents are going to go brawl, in which case you also want to go brawl. We're putting ourselves at a disadvantage by choosing this comp. Right out the gate. Look at this. We immediately take a fight in this corridor. And we just have the worst brawl comp. We don't have a BAP. We don't have a Rhyme. And we leave early enough. Okay, that's good. See how Jake is forced to just jump out? Like, Jake just tries to walk in a little bit, but then he's a monkey just walking straight into a brawl. And so he takes all his health and is forced to immediately leave.
Routing power to forward barrier.
Your involvement in this is
Like,
repairing the damage.
we're trying to take this small corridor of a fight. I really don't have anything else to say because this is, again, even if both comps are played perfectly, this is still such an obscenely difficult comp for 6-man to do. There's just nothing you can do. Especially not on this point. You take these small rooms and small areas to fight, but you just can't do anything because you have the worst composition for those areas. You just get walked on and die. In spite of that, we've gotten a pick. So we're gonna just talk about what we have to work with already. I want you guys to wait out the wall, which you do end up doing. That's good. Okay, now I want to see you walk. I don't like that play at all. That just gets you killed. There's nothing distracting the diva or anything. There's nothing distracting the diva. There's no stun for you to stun the diva, and she's certainly not out of position. So we just literally walk into a matrix and die. I want you to disengage. They've used beat. That's good enough. We'll take it.
Feeling much better.
So, I know we have EMP. I want you guys to coordinate something with EMP, which you do end up doing. I like that.
Ahorita regreso.
One.
See you later. Apagando las luces.
Okay.
I will.
So, you didn't have to do that. Let me explain. Stuart, if you just put down your translocator, like right here, and just go around the stairs, you can live that EMP without dying. Right, see, like in this time that you're just dancing around here, you have the time to put down your translocator
Ahorita regreso.
and then go in from the high ground without having to use your translocator for an engage.
Apagando las luces.
Surrender to my will.
Okay, I want to take a look at a target calling because no one has died yet. Whoever Jake is calling should be the target. Jake is calling Ryan. Ryan.
Vital signs now.
We win that because of the EMP, but it's clear that there wasn't any target calling or respect for what target Jake was calling. So just win that off EMP. That's fine.
This will restore you. Hello.
Thanks.
Greetings.
Hello.
And you guys will be playing down Slam right now, right? We've seen most of the other loads come out, but except for Slam.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Okay. You get a hack on the BAP, so I want to see the BAP die.
Triple kill.
Good.
I'm on fire.
I do want to say though, the way we're playing this again is just more difficult, weaker brawl, right? Like all we end up doing is just engaging on them right here. So we're not even playing to any of 6-man strength. We're just brawling them where a brawl comp would.
Is my will. Hello.
They went to Zarya for some reason. Okay. Pressure their mortality field. Their Rhine dies. Whoa. Alright, so let's go back a little bit and break that down. Right after the Rhine dies. The Rhine is dead. And this window fucking sucks, okay? Right? It can only just stare down this one angle. What is the optimal play here when the Rhine is dead? I think... I think you can just play reactively, probably. Because they have no shield to push in with. Right? They also don't have a Diva anymore, so they can be playing straight into our Blossom, if we're communicating that at all. We're also just coming up on Coalescence. This, you can just make this window useless by having, if your team stands here. But what do we do instead? They beat... Okay, I'm not going to blame Jake, because obviously they beat it at the same time he engaged. But look at how low Nick is, too. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me to be engaging into, especially like into a Reaper and everything, when we can just hold back. This also makes their window better, because now they can actually use this window to be shooting Jake. And like, they can also be using it to heal now too. When before, right, because of how terrible this window is, if you guys just stand here, the window is useless, right? There's no LS to window. So Nick gets Steam Deck. I don't even know why you went in when you're so low. You just shouldn't have. See what? Like, you're standing in front and in between a window. Your primal doesn't matter at this point. You're gonna get obliterated. I don't know why you're not backing out too, because we're at 100 HP. Very strong. Okay.
Appear to have lost control.
I want you to be stabilizing. We got the Batiste. That's good. Why are you jumping into someone when there is a target right here? You started zapping a half HP Zarya and then decide to just ignore her and engage on someone else. I don't like that. And we actually end up losing this fight because of just kind of a cascade of poor decisions. We do have EMP Blossom though, so we can just win off that, right? We need one fight. All we have to do, they don't even have a diva. So just, they don't have beat either. So play around Flash, right? As long as the not the Reinhardt, the Cole Cassidy is caught in the EMP, we have a free boss.
Time to accelerate.
EMP activated.
A little bit of an early engage from Jake apparently, but it distracts them enough. Dante has free passage.
I'm on fire.
That's a fight win. Good coordination, mostly.
Hello there.
They do have a touch though,
This fourth.
which is actually not great. You guys call it, I do like how you guys called out that they have Grav. However, I don't like that you guys called out eating. Okay, here's what. Eating a Grav is not something reliable that you can do. Eating, you can't just tell them like, oh, eat it. Right? That's our only win con, eat it. You need to be thinking about pressuring it. What is the situation in which a Zarya wants to grab the most? Think about that for a second. The answer is when she's at 1 HP. Or low HP, right? And it's the last fight. The Zarya will feel the most inclined to grab when she is under pressure and feels like she's going to lose it. That's how you force out a grab. That's how you force out an eat. Honestly, though, you also have beat. You're 89 to beat. You don't have to be forcing out that grab. So that's also something to consider. That Reaper is hacked. I want him to die. No one is looking at the hacked Reaper. That's fine. We got slammed. The beat comes down just a little bit too late.
Surrender to my will.
I feel great.
Jake gets in your LS. That's clutch. You end up jumping on someone who falls behind the rest of the team. That's good.
This will heal you.
I want you to back out. This is a situation where it's now winnable. You've gotten a pick. Your team is coming back, and somehow Jake is alive. What even is he? One way or another, Jake has not died yet because of the hacked health back at the bottom, actually. So instead of jumping in more, you have your team to touch. I want to be jumping out and healing Jake from behind right now.
Regenerate.
This will protect us.
Oh my god. And then you get Primal and beat at just the right time. Zarya.
Sharing the objective.
Oh, a miss on the timing of our jump. Or swipe. You can still kill Zarya.
Hello there.
An expedient
That's
solution.
better.
Wow. That's a very clutch way to turn that around.
Hello there.
We end up
Hello.
surviving somehow and coming back with a bunch of bullets at the end.
Score
Take it.
1.
Overall, should have really just switched off the 6-man after that first fight, and then it would have been a much easier job.
Ready for battle.
War isn't a game, girl.
Okay, so let's see what we're switching off to here.
Soldier 76 said the same thing.
Hello.
What are we going? We're staying 6-man?
5,
Yeah,
4,
okay, we're staying
3,
6-man. That's fine.
1.
Hello.
So,
Group up here.
take the high ground, right? 6-man doesn't want to take that high ground. I would actually dare say. Because you don't have like a hit scan DPS, first of all. And your team can't really... It's a very awkward position. For example, put yourself in the position of Moira, for example. And you're up here, right? You don't have the sustain. There's no cover. There's no sustain. And then you end up running out of healing resources. And there's no one getting value off of being in this high ground. Like, by playing in the high ground, you're sometimes putting your Reaper out of range of his shotguns if they don't take the high ground. It's just a really awkward situation. Because the alternative, right, is to just take this side and play on the point. This is definitely something to think about. Because I don't think either way is great. But this way, right, you have an easier time just brawling on the point. By going on the high ground, it's like you have to take the jump pad to get up to the high ground. And if your opponents beat you there, it turns into something really, really awkward because now you're taking a fight here. Here's my answer to this. Hack this mega health pack. If you hack this mega health pack, you can take a fight here and be very comfortable with it. And also be taking this high ground. Okay. I want... Sombra should basically always be hacking a mega health pack, especially on control. That's the first thing you should be looking for.
Taking off.
Okay, so Ari gets booped up here. And now we just out of more, so the fight's lost.
Routing tower to forward barrier.
Wait, we trade for the Reaper? We got their Moira somehow? I need to rewatch that. There's no way.
Taking off. No.
So their tanks. Here's what I absolutely don't want you guys to do. And honestly, this is close. You almost did this. You see their supports standing here, right? And you see where their tanks are. Their tanks are up here and up here. So the risk with tanking high ground is that your tanks have easy access with their mobility abilities to get up here, but your supports don't. So again, right, what ends up happening is that you take a fight here, and you end up winning even without your Moira, because your opponent's tanks have been absent this entire time. So they just let their supports get walked on, and now they've lost, or they're losing.
This will restore.
Routing tower to forward barrier.
This is such a winnable fight still. That's insane that he follows you up there. And the monkey feeds straight into Dante. Okay, confusing fight, but summarized, I want you to hack. If you're going to take this side, you should be hacking this mega first thing. And that makes things much easier for you. Then your team can actually fight in that area.
Hello there.
Starting on the high ground, that's fine. Now we're all up on the high ground, right? So it's much less awkward.
Oh, yeah.
They're going far left. Okay, so we reposition to get closer. I like that.
Check this out.
This is such a good spot to be diving onto their Moira from. Because, yeah, all four of you are up here. You were here and their Moira was in the doorway, right? You can just drop onto the Moira and force her fade out. And then after she fades, because you only dropped, so you still have your mobility abilities and your amp. So you can just kill the Moira. The Moira should almost be a guaranteed kill with the way your opponents are playing this. Lucio, yeah, that works too. So now we can just play the long game, right? We have more resources, more healing. We didn't need to blossom there. It's fine. I don't think we already knew that. But very good, very, very good fight to catch them out on the rotation. I like that a lot.
My bad.
The power of destruction.
I am loving this.
Time to raise my
Okay, so now they're changing up their points there.
Repositioning.
So they're putting one on point.
Enemy sighted.
Whoa, whoa. So first of all, we get a hack on their diva, which is one of the juiciest targets. But we still have yet to engage on her. We really want to... We have EMP! Let's go back. Let's go back. There are two things here. I remember you guys talking about playing around EMP, right? So I just want to look at this from a larger perspective and point something out. There's Summer decloaks, number one. She doesn't EMP. In fact, and now we can see that she doesn't have it. What is the best thing for your team to start doing right now? Think about that for a second. Here's the answer. Your opponent's Sombra doesn't have EMP. Your team has EMP. I want you guys to be EMPing as soon as possible and just obliterating your opponents right here, right now. Because you just have this EMP advantage, you take the initiative and EMP first, you win this fight. I know we end up doing that, but it takes us a while to process. Right? Stuart. There we go.
This. All systems checked out.
Okay, hold on. Why did we do that?
Bailing out.
You kind of said it. Hold on, Nick. It takes us a while, right? Like, this is after Stuart's hacked the Diva. So again, it should be communicated ASAP that, hey, the Sombra doesn't have EMP. She's decloaked on the point by herself. And the moment everyone hears that, then we should know, okay, time to EMP and just go in. And yeah, I don't... This is... You sent this bomb straight up.
All systems checked out.
And crunch it. Okay.
I'm back in the fight.
Quick and easy.
Hello there.
Nothing's gonna stop.
Hello.
Now I want you guys to actually play around the EMP because you know they don't have it. Although I understand it's going to be hard because now they have literally 6 ults. But again, you have beat, so there's you can play around.
Nerf this.
Apagando las luces.
We are playing Ring Around the Rosy. That's right. We're here at the end of the fight. We all position high ground. Cool. That's great. Now watch what we do. Well, first of all, Parker, good. You are hiding against EMP. But let's draw a circle. Great time to finally use this tool. Your beat range is about this big, probably. Actually larger. Maybe it fills the entire screen, right? But this is a little too far away still. Now let's let it fill the entire screen. Like this, right? You're not in range to actually beat anyone. You are doing a very, very good job of hiding. But you are so far away from everyone that there's still time for someone to die before you get your beat off. Not to mention, your LOS is a little limited. You only have this one doorway that you're looking into to counter the EMP. So let's just look at this from a large perspective. Again, because we are literally more than half the point split from each other, we should really be a little closer. I want Nick and Dante to be following Jake over, for example. Because what ends up happening is that Jake sees a juicy Moira caught on the rotate right here, right? So what does Jake do? Jake does as the monkey does and engages, but he's kind of the only one. Nick isn't there yet, Dante isn't there yet. And you see how this EMP hits, and Parker is all the way over here. So far away. A much better position to hide would have been, for example, maybe around this corner, or perhaps around this corner. The root of the problem is that Jake ends up repositioning to the center area before everyone else does, and Nick, then Dante, then Parker, for example, everyone is lagging behind. So there's a lack of communication of where we're headed and where we're trying to position. We basically, like, one by one, effectively speaking. Boom, and then someone else comes, and then someone else comes a little bit later, and then Parker comes a little bit later. Right? So this should just be it. Yeah, Jake is dead to bomb. Okay. This is still winnable, though. Never do that. Never beat from high places. This is how you Ajax and die on the way down.
He's on my radar.
That's like a full second and a half for them to just shoot you. It works. Like, that's an even enough time for this number to hack you out of beat. But this is winnable because we have beat, right? We can be targeting this diva, Now I want to turn our eyes to the monkey. Yeah. We unfortunately get hacked, so we're not able to. Yeah, I would just probably play a little bit more conservatively there. Just play around this for cover. Because we really don't need to be out here, right? In terms of contesting the point. Being out here and taking the full brunt of damage and just playing around the corner while we're down a person. This is probably the better play. So a little bit of positioning to think about. They only have Monkey here. We have Monkey and Blossom. So it's pretty even ground. I want to see how you guys approach this first.
Nothing's gonna stop.
So we're taking the high ground. Great.
Let's get you healed up. Get into position.
I want to see an amp come out. Like, two big issues. Holy shit. Two very big issues there, I just want to say. It's okay that we're taking a fight here. But it's not okay that not only do we not use our amp cooldown, you are playing so far up. Right? Like, Parker, you just get increasingly closer and closer, like your Doomfist, but we want to be as far away as possible from the enemy team, because our tanks are already in our range. Right? And now you're up at the very front, so you're just going to get instantly obliterated. You even go into their enemy team. So, again, we can be doing this. We just want to be using our amp because we have it and not overextend it. I also, what are we doing, guys? We're just like, let's take a look at it from this perspective, okay? Okay, jump.
Get into position.
Okay, jump.
Time to raise my APM.
Okay, jump. Okay, jump. Like, we're just having a fun time, right? We're just like having a fun time jumping up and down on this thing. We're not taking a position. We're not like committing to a fight. Like, we're just wasting our time, really, jumping up and down. It's kind of just an autopilot mode, right? We clearly don't have a plan in mind. We're not again fully committing to this fight. What should be happening is that either you guys should really be only taking this jump pad once. You jump pad once, you fight here, and if you feel like you need to disengage, you drop and stabilize. But we're having fun, like spending half the time jumping around here, looking at the beautiful golden walls and not shooting or healing anything. Also, Dante, why are you doing this? You decided to take the jump pad to have a fun little jump straight into their entire enemy team, and we also float as a result of the jump pad, making us a really easy target. This should just be a disengage.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Because although you haven't started losing the fight yet, like, you have people here, you have people here, you have people all the way back here. We're discombobulated, not regrouped. This is a call. This is a time where we really just need a call to regroup or reset. At this point, obviously, it's a reset. But before, we were all dead, and we need to just focus on regroup. I think about a game plan. Okay, this time we're going on the left side. Cool. Expecting Park a lot. This should be at the back so we can see what everyone else is doing. We forced point. That's cool.
Healing boost. Time to accelerate.
Apagando las luces.
That works, I guess. They sent the bomb here, but we just walked around it.
This will restore you.
Dark on Sombra, Dark on Sombra, great.
Surrender to my
If
will.
you didn't get the beat, it works in our favor.
Yeah, time to heal up.
Time to raise my APM.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Monkey gets crunched again, okay?
Nothing's gonna stop. Oh, hey. Let's up the tempo.
Alright, it looks to me that we just utilize our ults better there, right? Didn't die to either EMP or bomb. It's really kind of the fault of the enemy team because they didn't have anything to stop them. But we'll take those fights. So overall, I just want to mention some key points. First of all, number 1, comp matchups. MUs, for sure. Think about why you are going brawl on a map, why you are going 6-man on a map, and what your win condition is against them. Comp. 2, I want you guys to just play the game more, honestly, because we're just doing some really strange things that shouldn't be happening. Like, again, dropping by ourselves, or we're not, again, not doing fundamental, really basic things, right? Like, not blossoming straight into an enemy diva's matrix, or when we're hiding from beat, we need to actually be in range of our team, or not sending our bombs straight up into the air, right? So I just want to say fundamental, what's a good word for it? Decisions. Another example, for example, I'm just trying to get one for everyone, right? Another example for Stuart would be like, you don't need to throw your translocator into the enemy team. You can just drop from the high ground and EMP from there. Number 3, target call. Okay. There are multiple occasions where we had like a free target. This happening especially after EMP, and like we get people down really low and don't kill them, or for some reason we're on multiple different targets while the EMP is going on, and it just doesn't work out. It's because we have our damage split among multiple enemy heroes. So this video got really long. First time doing it. If you want to see what I wrote down, please rewind. I accidentally cleared it. I'll probably make more for the next few maps, but just try to make them shorter so you're not watching like double movie length videos. Peace out.